Greetings, welcome back to the Drummond Geometry channel. We hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and going to get the juices flowing with Bitcoin and NASDAQ so far now that we're back in the first full week of trading in a while. Starting with Bitcoin, yearly on the left and quarterly on the right. And the first thing I'd like to point out is I've changed these further out resistance bars to yellow, and they're usually a darker maroon color on the other charts. And I did that so that it's just a little bit easier to see. And what I'm highlighting is that price closed in the farther out resistance area. And say that another way, the farther out resistance area held on close in both the quarterly and the yearly basis. Those of you who have been around Drummond Geometry for a little while, you know that we're starting to talk about the foundation, or for what we could call an exhaust setup. And if it's going to be an exhaust setup, then we're going to see these white bars here are the nearbys. And the nearbys are going to hold on close. And that would be the definition of an exhaust. And what we can expect with exhaust is a retracement down here to the PL dot. A yearly PL dot on the left, or perhaps a quarterly PL dot on the right. Some other things to note. Price got way up here into what we call the outer darkness. That's up above zone 6 on both the yearly and the quarterly chart. And then price moved right back inside. You can see that it closed back inside last quarter. And that's a sign that, it's another element of the exhaust setup. Now for the time being, keeping an eye on the PL dots here, are all still pushing higher. And you can see the live PL dot on the yearly chart is moving up, and it's also moving up a little bit here on the quarterly chart. So the energy is still pushing up in this market, and I don't want people to get excited that we're going to short up here. What we're going to do is we're going to watch what happens when the market gets up here. When it gets up in this area, we're going to pay attention to the lower time periods. But I'm not saying short this market at this point, because the energy below this market is still pushing up strongly. If we come at this from the perspective that you've been in this market for a while, you've been long, and you're starting to wonder, where do I cover? Where do I take profits? Well, one thing to note here is this magenta bar inside the nearby support area. That's the 1-1 zone for the quarterly, and same thing over here on the yearly. So that is all support area. And then of course you have quarterly envelope top here too as support. Yearly envelope top is support, live envelope top, live envelope top. So there's still a lot of support pushing up underneath this market. So looking at this again from the perspective that you're long, you're writing your profits and getting up here into this area of the nearby, getting up into this area, this is the area to pay attention to. So that's it for the long-term chart. Now let's look over here on the left of the monthly chart. And again, you see the PL dots moving in a nice straight line upward direction. And what are we into right now? So far, we're in a monthly PL dot refresh zone. And then you have the monthly PL dot, the quarterly envelope top. All that area is support for this market. And of course, that was getting up into the outer darkness, it returned back inside the zone structure down into zone 5. So right now, this looks nothing more than like a monthly PL dot refresh. And then when you move over into the center chart here on the weekly, you can see how the weekly PL dot has now come underneath price and supporting price at the monthly envelope top. And we're flirting with breaking through the weekly envelope top. So at this point, prices look like they're headed higher, probably towards a new all-time high. And you can see over here on the daily chart a little more detail where price is. So the daily PL dots are now starting to roll under and push up. The weekly PL dot there, the monthly envelope top. It's all pretty clear that there's a lot of support and it's turning higher and pushing up. And again, when we get up into those areas of the higher time period nearby and 1-1 zone, that's the area to pay attention to. And if you're long this market, and you know stops come in underneath here. Prices should not be back below the daily PL dot. And now we're moving on to the NASDAQ with, again, the yearly on the left and the quarterly on the right. And you can see what I've marked up here. And key areas to watch are that 5-1 down on the yearly chart, the 5-1 down on the quarterly chart, and that 5-1 down on the quarterly chart is also taking place right at the quarterly envelope top. And the quarterly envelope top held on close at the end of last year. And so market got up above and returned inside the envelope. So we're starting to look like, again, exhaust type action. You can see that over here on the yearly chart. This is the farther out resistance area held. And here's the nearby resistance area for this year. Obviously there's a lot of year left this year, but that 5-1 down, both the quarterly and the yearly basis, are areas to pay attention to. We can also see the PL dots on the yearly and on the quarterly are still pushing higher. The slope is starting to move down, or starting to weaken on the yearly chart, but it's still pushing up. And these areas here, these farther out resistance areas, nearby resistance areas, they're starting to push higher. This was last year, this is this year. So they're still pushing up. So this is still support underneath the market. And now what we're flagging is potential termination points for this energy in this very long drawn out upward move in the stock markets. And now with the monthly, the weekly, and the daily charts, you can see a little bit more detail of what we're running into. That monthly bar last month got way up above and returned inside the monthly envelope, inside the quarterly envelope. And now what we're running into is this resistance area of quarterly envelope top, monthly envelope top, and weekly envelope top. So we'll see how the market digests this area up in here. And again, those 5-1 downs are right up in this area. So this is a place to pay attention to on the lower time periods. And if you're long in this market, again, price should not be getting down below this daily PL dot. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section and do my best to answer them. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.